our next speaker, Christina Hildebrand. Christina is amazing. She's also been a great support this entire adventure. Thank you so much, Christina. She has been a rock and a person to go to for advice and suggestions, and just has been amazing. Christina is the founder and president of A Voice for Choice, Inc. and A Voice for Choice Advocacy, Inc. She is a market researcher with a degree in statistics and modeling. Christina owns a market research firm which conducts research for many Silicon Valley companies. She also owns a Weston A. Price-based food delivery service in the San Francisco Bay Area. Over the past 12 years, she has conducted over 10,000 hours of research on vaccines. This woman knows what she's doing. She is researching like crazy. Christina had led the idea for A Voice for Choice, the need for an organization that educated and advocate for a transparency and informed choice of what goes into our bodies. Quite a few years ago, but did not have the time to start it given her two other businesses. However, in 2015, in response to SB 277, Christina felt that she needed to put the nonprofit onto paper and founded A Voice for Choice Advocacy, Inc. This allowed the nonprofit to hire a lobbyist in Sacramento with whom Christina spent every Monday through Wednesday during the legislative session with lobbying against SB 277 and SB 729. Christina then recognized in order to further her mission of ensuring all have informed choice and transparency in what goes into their body, she needed to found a tax-exempt nonprofit in order to effectively educate and fundraise for those education purposes, founding A Voice for Choice. Thank you so much, Christina. Please come to the stage and welcome Christina Hildebrand. Thank you.
Hi all, it is hot out here and humid, so thank you for sticking around. You're here today, either in person or somewhere across the country, listening to similar speeches because you're concerned about your children or the children's health in the US. As you've heard today already, 1 in 2 kids are chronically sick. 1 in 50 kids have autism. And I look at those numbers and that's just wrong. Our kids should not be sick. You know, when we look at chronic illness, that includes eczema, allergies, ADHD, autism, diabetes, cancer. When you look at those things, they're assumed to be normal nowadays. It's normal that kids at school have peanut allergies. It's normal that kids at school are diabetic. It's normal that kids at school are autistic. It's not normal. These things are not normal. And we need to get back to recognizing that they're not normal and telling people they're not normal. Because even the parents with children who have all these chronic diseases don't understand that it's not normal because their pediatricians and their doctors are telling them it's okay, it's normal, it's what happens to kids these days. I can tell you from my own experience and just meeting parents who raise their children cleanly without toxins, those kids are a heck of a lot healthier. And to me, it is all about toxins. We need to get toxins out of these kids' bodies. What does that mean? It means your food, it means your air, it means your water, it means the pharmaceuticals, it means everything that goes into a body or touches a body needs to be looked at for the amount of toxicity it has in it. You've heard today, you know, glyphosate is basically in everything. You need to educate yourselves. Make it your mission because the government is not looking out for you. The government is paid for by the pharmaceutical companies. If you look at the 21st Century Cures Act, which went through at the end of last year, one of the last things that Obama signed, it had 1,400 lobbyists working on it from the pharmaceutical and the healthcare industry. It had $525 million put behind it. They're not thinking about you. They're thinking about the money in their pockets. Mainstream media is another thing that is completely bought by the pharmaceutical companies. You know, you need to stand out and do your own research. Make sure that you know what's right for your family and for your kids. Use your intuition too. If you think something's not right, the number of parents that come to me and say, you know, I went in for that first month or second month vaccine well baby check, realistically vaccine shot check, and I just felt it was wrong. It was wrong getting those 5 shots and my baby screaming its head off. That's mother instinct or father instinct. Listen to it. Please listen to it. Look at what's important to you. So for me, toxins, as I said, they're all over. Air, food, water, pharmaceuticals, everything around you that touches you or goes in you has the potential to be toxic. Look at what's important to you and research those things. Make the difference where you can. So my top 3 are vaccines. You know that they have no liability. That you cannot sue a pharmaceutical company or the person, the doctor that gave it to you if you have any side effects. If your kid has seizures, if you have seizures afterwards, you can't sue for that. Look at the ingredients, the aluminum, the formaldehyde, the mercury, everything else that's in vaccines. Look at the side effects. If you just read the package insert, if you knew nothing else on vaccines and you just read the package insert, you've just read a whole plethora of side effects that can happen and do happen. Look at the efficacy of them. The mumps vaccine doesn't work. The pertussis vaccine doesn't work. You look at whether you're really taking the risk, as Alan Phillips said. You know, you got a risk now of getting this injection. You've got a risk later of possibly getting the disease. And then look at the number of vaccines that are given. You know, the number of people over 40 that come to me and said, you know, I'm fully vaccinated. I was fine. Yeah, you probably got 7 shots. Kids today are getting 72 doses. That's incredible amount that's being put, and most of those are happening between the age of 0 and 2. So just, you know, do your research on vaccines. The second thing has been talked about today that I stress to everyone is the food that you're eating. So glyphosate and the other pesticides and herbicides are toxins, and they're in everything. Up until a few years ago, I thought, okay, I can just cut out the stuff that's GMO. So I can cut out corn, I can cut out soy, I can cut out those things that are genetically modified. No, Roundup is on pretty much everything because it's being eaten by our cattle, by our animals. Crops like wheat and potatoes are desiccated. They're sprayed with tons of Roundup right before they're harvested to get a few more, to get them to mature quickly. That means every piece of wheat that you eat that is not organic is covered in glyphosate in this country. Do your research. And the third thing that I strongly, is a my topic is fluoride. So fluoride in the water is pretty much in every big city. There's fluoride in the water. When you mix, fluoride alone is a neurotoxin. There's a Lancet study that came out that shows that. But when you mix it with lead or with aluminum, lead's in the pipes, aluminum's in your vaccines, when you mix them with them, it becomes deadly. It's been shown to become deadly in mice, and it's, it's really chronic in our children. When you add all of those together, you've got a mess. So, to me, it's up to us to take back our health. The government is going to help us. Nobody's going to help us. It's up to us individuals to take back our health and to educate and to advocate for less toxins. It's up to us to make a difference. And so I ask each of you, look at what you spend your money on. We can take the power back as consumers. We can say we're only buying organic. We can say no to vaccines. We can say no to fluoride. We can go against the grain and speak with our dollars. It's expensive to live like this, yes, because all of the toxic stuff is subsidized by the government. So it is expensive. So what I say is choose one thing, choose 2 things, choose 3 things that are important, that are most important to you, and make the change and speak with your dollars. Make the change as a consumer, because that's how we can take back Big Pharma and Big Ag and have them have less power. The other thing that I would say, and this is a challenge I make every time I speak, is for everyone out there listening, every single day, make it a point that you speak to someone that you don't know knows something about your issue. Doesn't mean to say that in that time you're going to flip them and they're suddenly going to be like, I'm never even eating anything but organic. I'm never vaccinating again. You're planting seeds. Sherry Tenpenny did a wonderful talk yesterday at the IPAC conference, and she mentioned the parable of the sower. So the sower, throws out seeds, and some of them land on rocks and never develop and never grow. Some of them land on soil that gets choked up by weeds, but some of them do grow, and it's those seeds that we have to sow every single day. And it's hard. I didn't do this up until 2 years ago. The way I raised my children and the way I ate was very private. It still is very private. I don't think I should be publishing to the world my, kids' medical history, but I do it now because we need to share the knowledge. We're the people that have that knowledge, and we need to share that knowledge with everyone. I now take Uber everywhere because it gives me 20 minutes in the car with somebody who has nothing else to do but listen to me. I sit on airplanes and people say, oh, why were you in D.C.? I'll tell you why I was in D.C., even if that's not the reason why I was in D.C. Make it a point to talk to one person every single day, because if you talk to one person every day, that's 365 people that you personally have touched. And if we all do that, there will be thousands more people that are waking up, and we really need to wake the world up to this. Thank you very much.